My boss is an absolute dipshit. Sorry, I hate to be so blunt, but that's just the way it is. My name is Sarah Collins, and I work as a personal assistant for a private law firm. It's probably safer for you if I don't mention where. Anyway, back to my arsehole sleazebag of a boss. He's a short, fat little man who walks around the office like a total big shot. Rolex watch, Armani suit, you get the picture. He's also got one of those ridiculous mustaches that look like a gerbil sleeps on your upper lip. He's a completely sexist pig that treats me like garbage. To give you an example, the other day he walked past my desk and pretended to trip, spilling a giant glass of water all over my white blouse, making my shirt see-through. It was so embarrassing. I would have left ages ago if I didn't need the money so much. Simon Jones is his name. He orders me around like a dog with no respect or praise at all. But back to the point. The other day, after his usual rounds of berating everyone in the office, he headed to his private lift to whisk him away to the safety of his ridiculously large office. Yet, when he pressed the button, a screeching noise of metal on metal filled the room, and smoke billowed through the closed doors of elevators. It was broken, which, as you can imagine, made for a pleasant morning for the rest of us. Not. He stormed into my cubicle, his stash twitching furiously. I don't care how you get it done, or how much it costs, but if the elevator isn't fixed overnight, it's coming out of your pay. He leaned closer. Slut. I lowered my gaze, my face burning furiously. Yes, sir, I mumbled. Unfortunately, this would mean that I would have to spend the rest of the day searching for a repairman. After 2 hours of searching, I had made no progress and realized I was screwed. When everyone had left the office and it turned to 9 p.m., my finger scrolled down to the webpage further and further, but I thought it was pointless. What sort of mechanic is open past 9? My heart fluttered when I saw the next ad. It didn't stand out, and the wording was dull and boring. But there it was. Mr. Mechanic, we fix everything, and it also said that they were available whenever needed. I called their number, which was really unusual. 005-555-555. A voice picked up on the other end. Male, but no emotion whatsoever. Hello, Miss Collins, it said. Hey, I replied before getting straight to the point. He was patient, and when I was finished, he said, I will depart shortly. I thanked him and hung up. I didn't realize then that I hadn't mentioned my name yet. He arrived faster than I expected. His gray overalls were matched by his gray cap that both sported the slogan on the website. He was tall and unusually slim, but his eyes were dull and glassy like marbles. I led him to the elevator and told him that I'd be catching some sleep in my office. An hour later, I woke up at my desk. A pool of dribble formed in my mouth. The office was eerily quiet. I looked up, and the mechanic was staring at me from the door to my cubicle. All finished, he said. Great, you're a lifesaver. What's the charge? I replied. He told me there was no fee, as it was an extremely simple job. I thought he was joking, but then he nodded at me, took off his hat, and left. I locked up and went home, and dreamed of men with gray hair and glass eyes. Simon Jones strolled around his office impatiently while drinking a glass of bourbon, while he poured himself 2 hours earlier. He was waiting for the CEO of a competing company to arrive, so they can attend lunch together and discuss the civility of their situation. In frustration, he threw his glass against the wall, and it shattered everywhere. The phone at his desk buzzed as he jogged over to pick it up. Mr. Jones, the competition has arrived, sir. Good, was all he said before slamming down the phone and heading to his elevator. He pressed the button and the door slid open silently and smoothly. He smiled to himself and adjusted his tie around his bulbous neck. Whoever that dumb assistant of his had hired, they had done a good job. Jones took one step forward, but his foot found no purchase, and he fell, screaming, 34 stories down an elevator shaft to his death. After my boss died, his brother took charge. He was a great guy who gave me a promotion and a pay raise, a touch of class. There was an investigation, but when tested following the incident, the elevator functioned perfectly. I was asked to show the police the number at the webpage of the mechanic I called, but the page had disappeared. And when I called the number in front of the police, a mechanical voice informed us that the number did not exist. However, one warm evening, I was walking back to my apartment and a gray van swerved around the corner. The glassy-eyed man was behind the wheel. It may have been my imagination, but he turned quickly to me, doffed his hat and gave me the briefest of smiles before disappearing around the next corner. I never saw him again, but the words on his van, overalls, hat, and webpage are forever stuck in my head. We fix everything.